Okay, it looks like the gang's all here. It is 5:31, and let me start by saying that we are live captioning our meetings. Please look in the chat window of our WebEx meeting where you'll find a link. Please click on that link to open a web page with the live captioning. Do we have any substitutions today?
No, sir. We do have a bunch of added panelists as a just in case, though.
Okay. So we'll get right to it and, with our agenda review. At this time, I call to order the agenda review meeting for the Maricopa Community College District Governing Board for March 5th, 2024. Today, we will review the agenda for the March 19th board meeting. Please note these meeting dates were changed due to spring break and board travel conference. So we'll start off with a roll call. Start off with our student trustee, Mr. Burnett.
I'm present.
Ms. Butler,
Present.
Ms. Davis,
Present.
Ms. Smith,
Present.
Ms. Sullivan,
I'm present.
Dr. Thor,
Present.
and let's see, Ms. Bittersmith is not with us, right? Is that correct? Let's see her here. Okay,
Yes.
and with me, that's 6 of us, so we can get going. Okay, so we'll start off with our regular meeting where we'll call to order. We do our Pledge of Allegiance and substitutions. We have the student life report from Gateway Community College, our Faculty Executive Council, our Adjunct Faculty Association report, staff representatives update. We have a couple emeritus awards, and then our council report before we get to the consent agenda. I trust that we've all had a chance to look over the consent agenda. And I just want to make one note that on item 9, the placeholder for the proposed course fee change for the spring semester 24-25 budget, we will move that to the April meeting. I've spoke with Dr. Gonzalez about that, and we moved that to the April meeting. Are there any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Hearing none, we'll move over to the monitoring reports, and we'll look at the budget analysis report for Fund 1 before we move to the community linkage. Wow, this was a quick agenda review.
Dr. Narini,
Yes,
I believe you skipped over H, first read and information items. That includes the first read of the residential faculty agreement.
I believe you're right. Yes, so the non-consent agenda, consent items for resolutions for the expenditure limitations, and then we'll have the first read for the residential faculty agreement to be effective July 1. Were there any questions or comments on that?
Dr. Narini, that's the
Yes.
reason I noticed that it wasn't there, or that you hadn't called for it. Yeah, I just had a question on the proposed revision to 7.2.4. And language is being added that all full-time faculty members will work within a department division structure led by a faculty chair. So do we have information on how many faculty members are not currently within a department division structure? And then what are we trying to resolve by adding this new language?
Dr. Narini, this is Stephen Gonzalez. I think I can identify someone who may be able to respond to that question, if that's okay with you.
Thank you, please.
Sure. In that case, Dr. Thor and Dr. Narini, I don't believe that Dr. Armour has been able to connect with us. He's currently out of town as well. I know that Eddie Jenna is not on with us this evening. So I would be looking to members of the RFAC, Lisa, or Greg. Are either of you on at the moment?
Chancellor, I am on and can take a swing at it.
All right, Dr. Peterson, take it away.
So, Dr. Narini, Dr. Thor, the first question, the majority of our faculty, research faculty, live within a structure. There are a couple of programs that are standalone at one or two colleges. This would require them to be folded into a department division structure. And then there are a few faculty who serve in a CTL or other capacity that would then be folded in. So it's a smaller number of faculty who currently aren't in the structure. As we look at the residential faculty agreement, many of our articles, many of our processes rely upon a faculty chair. And so we identified that there was great benefit for all residential faculty to have those supports. So as we look at our probation process, the role of the faculty chair, as we look at support for a faculty member moving through conflict resolution, moving through corrective action, disciplinary sanctions, any of those intervention pieces, there really is that chair role that supports in all of those processes. And so this change just ensures that those faculty have access to that same support that is benefited to all of our residential faculty.
Thank you. One more question, Dr. Peterson. So I understand that there are a handful of faculty members who were hired specifically into these program director roles. In other words, they weren't hired as a, pardon the expression, a typical faculty member and then either elected or appointed into those roles. Will those faculty members that were hired into those specific program director roles be negatively impacted in any way by this addition?
So, Dr. Meany, Dr. Thor, no, we don't believe so. The structure still, the using of the division department model still allows for the existing structures. So CTL directors, for example, would continue to live within that model, that they would report in an institutional capacity, that the CTL structure wouldn't be folded into a department division. So just that CTL faculty member would be connected into the division department for those supports. So it shouldn't, we don't see this impacting the operational organizational structure where faculty currently are working.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Narini, this is Ms. Sullivan. I have a comment if I could.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you. Having watched this faculty agreement evolve over time, I guess what I'd like to comment on is the continuous improvement that I see being made as a matter of practice and experience that then goes to the RFAC committee for comment and perhaps rework. I had the opportunity to attend one of the meetings by invitation, I might add, and saw that in action and appreciated the dialogue that I witnessed. I know that every year there is comment about another item to pull out, improve, comment on, and there probably are some of those elements in this as well moving forward. But I'd like to comment and compliment the committee on taking this activity seriously and being invested in continuous improvement, not just on behalf of the residential faculty, but also supporting activities that evolve from the other two personnel groups. So though mine isn't as specific as Dr. Thor's in honing in on one particular item, just generally as I read it and have noted some of the comments and and changes. Just wanted to address the idea that there's an ongoing commitment to seeing this evolve, and I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none, then we'll move on to the employment and separations from January 20th, 2024 to February 9th, 2024. Were there any questions or comments on the employment or separations? Hearing none, we move on to the monitoring report. We'll look over the budget analysis report 1. We have a placeholder for that. Then we'll move to the community linkage, governing board reports, and current event summaries. And then we'll move right on to the establishing of the next meeting times and locations. So the next one will be April 9th for agenda review. It'll be a virtual one at 4:30. And then April 23rd, the work session and the regular board meeting at 6:30 at the conference center at Rio Salado. And that's the end of the agenda review. Do I have a motion to adjourn and enter the executive session pursuant to the discussion or consultation for legal advice with an attorney or attorneys of the public body, possible ballot initiative regarding expenditure limitation pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A3.
So moved. This is Marie.
Okay. Ms. Sullivan moved and seconded by, sorry?
Donna Davis.
Seconded by Donna. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? None. So that passed 6-0, including the student trustee. And that adjourns the meeting. The board is now adjourned, the agenda review meeting, and we'll take a break before resuming the meeting in executive session, which will not be a public meeting. We thank you all for your virtual attendance this evening, and the agenda review meeting for the governing board is now adjourned as of 5:54 p.m.